Can I do one? Just didn't want to feel left out.
Good morning, party people. Welcome back to the Breakdown Podcast. This is the November issue.
Number 2, numero deuce.
Yeah, of course.
We're dropping a deuce on you.
That's it for the podcast.
Thanks
Didn't
for
last
coming.
long. Sorry about Johnny. No, we're going to wrap up November. It's been another big month for music.
Mm-hmm. Perfect time to wrap up, given it's almost Christmas.
Update on the rapping situation. I told Johnny this story the other day. So I have a hip-hop rap playlist that I never knew what to call. And the other day, I was driving along, listening to said playlist with Court, and I had an epiphany. And I called it Rapping Presence. But rapping is R-A-P-P-I-N-G, and then presence is like, you're here, your presence, rapping presence. That was my pun.
I mean, it's pretty good. I still don't think it is as good as my new one.
Yeah, this is outstanding.
I did make an all-female rock-orientated playlist, and I've called it My Femical Romance.
He actually, it's just a typo, but he's clever.
Yeah, I couldn't spell it. I couldn't spell it, so I was fucking run with it. Anyway, let's, first of all, thanks for being here again, if you're tuning in.
Also, thanks for how many people actually watched the first podcast. We weren't really sure what you would think of the long-form video. How is the table squeaking now?
It was pretty bad too, wasn't it? Is it the table squeaking or is it me? I'm pretty old.
Could be your joints.
Guy, could you get some oil for my joints, please?
WD-40 for Johnny, please. Yeah, we weren't sure if anyone would actually watch it, and we're stoked at how many people actually came on board and listened and commented and got involved. And actually said, oh, I looked for the album. He's got some baby oil for you. You'll see Johnny get sexier and sexier as the podcast goes on.
Why do we have baby oil in here?
For when I do photo shoots. So
cool.
Listening.
You've never asked me to oil you up.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct.
I appreciate that. I'm going to put that
Can't
down here
say
for later. I have oiled you. Just see like you coming and going, then grease me up, laddie. And him just sitting
It's
there
my
going,
back where I can't reach.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, talking about music. November was a big month for music. Every month this year has been big for music, but this has been a big month for heavy music.
Yeah. It's been wild this year. It's been just insane how... Like, I mean, it kind of makes sense because bands haven't really had anything else to do but write music and channel all of the frustration and aggression and...
Or celebrate coming out of last year and into a big year of... We've got the freedom to record again and be together doing this.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
We went back into lockdown, but a lot of other places have been out for a few months now.
Yeah, I mean, Australia's a couple of years behind the rest of the world at the best of times, aren't we?
We're in the future, mate. We're a day ahead of everyone else.
Well, so then, like, we're even further behind. Because...
What?
You know, because we're just not as up to date with current trends and things as the rest of the world. Actually, no, fuck that. We're pretty trendy.
This is going to be a podcast of John just having realizations.
With myself and Nathan just going...
You're an idiot.
But yeah, no, it has been a big month indeed. There's been so much sick shit. We were introduced to so many good bands this month. We were introduced to so many good bands.
That's because of you guys. Thank you to everyone that has been putting in donations and sending requests for songs. Of the past 3 weeks, I'd say 50% of the songs that have been my favorites have all been requests.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, to be honest. Like, I've said this before, I generally think that I'm pretty on the pulse with music and up to date with current bands. And then there'll always be a viewer that just proves how wrong I am about that.
Yeah.
But we give back. We give quality reactions. We've stuck to the dropping 2 a day. And also, story time. Turns out, we also love creators. So I'm not going to drop any names, but...
We love creators?
No, we're love creators. We create love and connections.
Okay, go on.
So story time. So I had a follower inbox me and say, hey...
DM, drop a DM.
Drop a DM, yes.
Slide into your
yes.
DM.
Slid in, actually, in socks, across a tiled floor. It was fantastic.
Tom Cruise stuff.
Yeah, I said, well done. And she said, I need to tell you something. She had met a man on, I think maybe one of the dating apps. I don't know. And they had gone out, agreed to go out for a meal and a hangout. And things were going okay, but they weren't going great.
Okay.
Now, this girl was like, well, this is not bad. It's not great. I'm going to wrap it up. So she said, look, it's Friday night. I kind of like to go home and just catch up on my favourite YouTube channel on Friday nights. And he said...
What she said to him?
Yes. And he said, oh, what's that? And she said, The Breakdown with Nath and Johnny. And he said, get out. I love those guys.
Where are they?
Sweden.
That's so cool.
Yeah, how sweet it is.
Yeah.
And then they bonded over that. Now, I don't know how things are going now, like...
I don't care.
Yes, we did our job. The rest is up to you.
Got them something to talk about, and that's it. Oh, that's...
Yeah.
We love love.
But isn't that fucking wild that, like, two people on the other side of the world...
Yeah.
Like, both watch this fucking channel.
Yeah. Just two
What are you
idiots
guys
rambling.
doing?
That's so good.
It's so cool, though. I was like, wow, that's fucking great. Yeah, and I've had a lot of messages. We've had a lot of messages from people that are saying, like, thank you for what you guys do, introducing us to music, like helping through hard times and all that sort of stuff. So if you are one of those people or we have helped you out at all, we're very happy to hear it. And also, you help us out because you've given us something to do, and it's great.
I have a lot of things to do, but I enjoy doing this with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very busy. But yeah, no, it is sick. And it's really, really cool because we are starting to grow the channel a little bit more. The more views we get, the more subscribers we get. Beyond, like, it's fun and it's cool and it's so nice sharing with you guys, it also means that we can kind of have a bit more credibility with, like, record labels and stuff. And we can start collaborating on bigger, cooler projects and start, like, having artists on and getting more exclusives and doing what we love to do. And just making it like a better product for you guys. So thank you for all the support.
We hope a better product.
Well, it's
but I am still
it's never going to be
channel.
great until we're both gone.
Yeah,
so eventually it's be McGee.
All right, now go on. Before we go into this, I had a lot of information, didn't I, ready for this podcast? But tell them what happened. Go on.
So
shut up, McGee.
McGee,
shut the fuck up, man.
No.
So Johnny rocks up today. We're here set up already, getting the cameras, our multicam set up, and all the lighting done. And Johnny walks in. He's like, "You know what I fucking hate? I wrote all my notes down, and I don't know what I did with them." Like, you physically wrote them down? He's like, "Yeah, on a piece of paper." And I was like, meanwhile, I've got just my notes here on my phone, like a regular modern human. And Johnny is at work using his typewriter, typing up his notes, and then old forgetful fart over here has also lost them. So,
but they were ribbing me about like using paper, and there was a legitimate reason. Okay, like I'm on call with someone, I'm doing the work on the computer, and then like I just had the piece of paper there and a pen. So every time I thought of something, I'd just write it down. I was like, yeah, this is fucking sick. I'm nailing this. Nathan's going to be so proud of me. I'm so prepared.
I'm so proud of you just being...
What's the difference with picking up your phone and typing the note?
Yeah, that's actually the best point. Rather than having a piece of paper and a pen. Because you got a pen and you don't have your paper, and the paper sort of moves around and you're trying to type. Right.
No.
I don't write anymore, I just type. With your phone... Beep, beep, beep.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when I'm gonna... This is me, like, letting the world know how I get out of doing work, and it's detrimental to my career. But, no, because I can, like, move the mouse around and click things so they can see the Zoom meeting, and I'm just, like, opening things and dragging things so they see I'm doing something while I talk to them, when, in fact, I'm doing nothing. And then I just... But I'm writing. But it's not like doing nothing for 10 seconds while I just quickly write, oh, this sick album came out. And I'm like, yep, very good. Yep, you need a PowerPoint here. What do you think of the new Mastodon? Oh, shit. Wrong conversation. Anyway.
What do you think of the new Mastodon?
I really liked it. We said this before after we checked out Teardrink. Like, we saw them live and we thought they were cool. And I know their older stuff like the Crack the Sky album and that. And since then, I never really gave them a chance. But I gave that album a few listens through. And... like, although it's not something I'm super familiar with yet, and I don't have a favourite song or anything yet, it's one of those things I can put on and just sort of, like, immerse myself in it and just listen to how incredible the music is.
Okay.
The riffs, the production, the drumming, the vocals, everything is just so cool, and it's something that I do want to actually give a bit more time to.
I didn't listen to it at all, to be honest. I didn't play the album once, purely out of time. Like, I haven't had the time to sit down and go... beyond the albums that we were actively excited for and looking for, which is the ones I've written down here. I just didn't have time to delve into it. Like you said to me, last week, I'm like, oh, try and get time next week to do the podcast. You're like, you have to listen to this full album because I hadn't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
So I've written down the ones that I have, and we'll start with probably the big one.
Go.
Which has been months in the making, Imminence.
Yeah.
Heaven in Hiding. I loved it. That's all.
Cool, man.
No, I'm just stoked. I actually really like it. I think the whole thing flows. My favourite song is still one of the singles, Ghost. That song just hits
Mine's
me
Heaven
every
in Hiding.
time. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
It hits me every time, but there is so many fantastic moments, and the whole album ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Particularly the latter half of it, where it stops being in English, the song titles.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what language that's written in, but there's a few songs there that I really liked and I enjoyed listening to. I can't pronounce them, but it is just such a well-crafted album.
Yeah, it's incredible. I loved it. I thought it was great start to finish. I saw a lot of comments of people saying that, like, it kind of got a bit repetitive for them. Like, they didn't sort of know where one song started and one finished. And, like, I know that can generally be taken as a bad thing, but I kind of thought it was a good thing because it gives you this whole sort of ebb and flow ride. Like, it's like, you know, you're on the water, up and down and up and down. Sometimes it's a little rough, sometimes it's nice and calm.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were ever going for the whole, this is super intense and heavy and stand out, and then this is really chilled and weird. Like, they were just making a good, well-crafted album that actually in its entirety, start to finish, is just like a nice, enjoyable journey.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the problem with a lot of this is, like, there were 6 songs released by the time the album came out. That's half the album. So you'd already listened to half the album.
Yeah.
And you're already familiar with it. I think that's probably the only problem that bands are going to face in the current climate, where they're all releasing so many singles before the album comes out.
Yeah.
I'm expecting the same thing for Siamese, to be honest. We know half the album already. So as much as we love all those songs, are we going to be as excited to listen to it as a whole album, or are we just going to want to listen to the new songs when it comes out?
Yeah, and it's exactly what happened with Spirit Box with us as well.
Yeah.
And the problem is with bands like Spirit Box and Imminence and Siamese, because they're bands that we've, like, fully fucking fallen in love with, and we're just like, oh my god, this is fucking sick. It's not like they've dropped a song like Bullet for My Valentine, for instance. I listened to the singles that they dropped a couple of times.
Yeah.
I had a couple of them on a playlist. But then when the album came out, a lot of the songs that they dropped, because I think they released like 4 or 5, they were still semi-fresh to me.
Yeah.
So I still found it sort of like a little bit of a surprise. Like, I wasn't sort of like, oh, this song that I know. But, like, man, like those Siamese songs and those Imminence songs, I've listened to them so many times because they're so good. Yeah, so that is something, like you said, the bands are going to face with this whole new thing. Now, let's get on to the next album where I think they did this well.
Scion?
Scion. They only dropped 3, and the last single.
They released 2, and then they released the album, and the song came out as a single at the time. 100%.
So good.
Loved that. Also, big up to Jared Dines for releasing them on his YouTube channel and not monetizing them. So that meant we could actually, like, copyright free do our reactions.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the YouTube king, because that's such a cool thing.
That's such a fucking cool thing to do.
And the Scion album bangs from start to finish.
It's so good.
I want to know what your favourite song was, because I want to know it's the same as mine.
Okay, my favourite song is actually The Blade still, the first song we heard.
Okay.
But I kind of removed that.
That song does still slap.
Yeah, it's so sick. Like, it was such a shock. My favourite one, I think, was A Constant Reminder.
Okay. It's not the same as mine.
And then, what is yours? Because I forget the names.
Great Deceiver. It's towards the end of the album.
The heavy one?
It's so heavy.
It sounds like Kill Switch a little bit.
A little bit, yeah, but it still has more nuances.
Yeah.
It's just so heavy and so fun and so intricate.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they've done super well with this album.
Oh, yeah. I love how it's got, like, it's got Howard's flavour through all of it. Like, and it sounds like, you know, like, some of it sounds like his Kill Switch work.
Yeah.
Some of it sounds like his Light the Torch work. And on a couple of the songs that go really hectic, it kind of sounds like Blood Has Been Shed, like his old band.
I didn't listen to them.
Oh, really? Oh, great hardcore band. They're a little bit more sort of on the progressive noisecore side.
Okay.
Very fucking sick.
Cool.
Yeah, and Jared's songwriting is great. I saw someone comment somewhere. Probably shouldn't always go back to I saw someone say, because that's how shit talk gets around. But anyway, I saw someone say, like, on one of the videos, I'm so glad they let blah 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 do the solo in this song because Jared Dines sucks at solos. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, they are a fucking... Whoever you are, you're an idiot.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't want to swear.
No,
I'm not a fuckwit. Now, the next album I've written down here is one that you didn't listen to, but I want to talk about it, and it was something that a bit different because we talk about a lot of heavy stuff. Rufus Du Sol. I love that band, and they're a band, but it's a lot of electronic-based music. Aussie guys, kind of like deep house sort of vibes.
Yeah.
But there is...
I know Inner Bloom well.
Yes, you do know that one song very well. They released their album Surrender earlier this month, and it's also such a fantastic album. And the lead single off that, Next to Me, is one of my most played songs at the moment.
Wow.
It's in my top 5 like most played songs in the last month.
Okay.
It's so good. It's a lot of keys, and it builds super, super well. Like, it starts off real simple, and then like bass comes in, and then the drums come in after a while, and it just has this really beautiful chorus. And yeah, I've been listening to that song a whole heap. So that's a huge recommendation for you guys to check out, as well as Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit softer, but really beautiful.
So kind of like me.
Yeah, you are quite soft.
Yeah, you know.
Really beautiful.
I'm moisturised.
I knew it. What do you got next?
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the very, very start with the kings of nu metal coming back, or rap metal coming back, Limp Bizkit, with, what was it? Still Sucks.
Yeah, it does still suck.
What did you think? Did you end up listening to the whole thing all the way through?
Yeah, I tired of it. I liked the first half of it, and then I got a bit over it.
Yeah. It doesn't have the replay value that, say...
Chocolate Starfish.
Chocolate Starfish and, what was the one before that? Significant Other, have for me. But there were moments there that showed if they kept going and did this again and didn't wait like fucking 10 years or whatever it was...
Well more than 10 years, but yeah.
Yeah, my concept of time is pretty skewed.
The older you get, the smaller time gaps are.
Exactly, exactly. It's because I don't have much left. I think the same. Like the first 2 songs, Out of Style, is still that's still on one of my playlists, and it absolutely bangs. The second song, Dirty Rotten Biscuit, was sick.
Yeah.
Pill Popper was cool. Hearing them get heavy again, I thought there was some really cool guitar riffs. I thought Fred's voice sounded really good on it.
Yeah, agree. It doesn't sound like he's aged.
No,
it fully still sounds like him,
great.
which is pretty incredible because people's voices does change as they get older.
Oh yeah, for sure. He does have such an iconic voice though. Like for me, it was never like, even when they did that Golden Cobra or whatever it was called.
Didn't listen to it.
Yeah, see, even when they did that, it still sounded like him in the sense of rap.
Yeah.
But he'd lost so much of his ability to scream and sing well.
Yeah, right.
Not that he's great, but I found it to kind of wear off after a while. The novelty of them being back kind of wore off. And I watched an interview with Wes, and it said that like apparently Fred just kept going through changes and wanting to change, and maybe that affected the end product and the overall flow of it. Either way, Out of Soul is still a fucking banger. And
as I said, as the album went on, I got over it, but at the start it was still exciting and interesting. So, next album I had here, which is again up for a contender for album of the year, it's Between You and Me, Armageddon, the Aussie pop punkers. Who I said on the last song we did by them, which was...
with yours truly.
Yeah, Go to Hell.
Yeah.
I said on that, like, these guys remind me of a, like, pop punk sort of Third Eye Blind.
Yeah.
And the guys messaged me and they're like, that's exactly what we were going for.
And you know what? Like, I hadn't listened to the full album at that point when we did that reaction, and I went and listened to it, and, like, I'm hearing it, like, and it kicks in. Like, the first song, what was it called?
Pleased to Meet You.
Pleased to Meet You is my favourite song of the album. I thought it was great, and because it's such a banging pop punk song, and it's done so well. But as the album went through, and there's like a lot of softer songs and a bit of piano and all that sort of stuff, I'm like, oh fuck, this does remind me of.
And there's a lot of storytelling in it, which is really cool. Yeah. So my favourite track was Goldfish on there, which again is a bit more pop punky within there, but has that sort of storytelling vibe. I just loved it. I think that's a really strong album, start to finish. So excited to see them next month.
Yes. Oh, wait, is that going to be our first show?
Month. Yeah, it might be.
Shit.
So exciting.
So cool.
I know. Very good.
We'll talk about the shows we've got coming up soon.
Yeah,
later on in this podcast.
We'll discuss shows in general after. Yeah. But did someone say merch? Oh boy, have we got you covered. Plenty of styles to choose from, like and ooh, or ooh. He is going to do great things, but more importantly,
ooh, purple's a fruit. Oh, yellow.
You know what? Yeah, you're absolutely right. I won't put you through that much more. No, you blew it. Turn around. That's the important part. Alright, last thing.
Slap it at ass.
Plenty of options. Check out the link down below, and thank you for supporting the channel.
We love you.
Next up with a pop banger.
Pardon me. I'm so rude.
You are a pig. You know who's not a pig? Yep. Bruno Mars. Yeah. Holy crap. Silk Sonic just did not disappoint as an album.
Man.
That's an evening with Silk Sonic for those of you playing at home.
Yeah, it was so good.
It's
so
fun.
Fly As Me is like
That's one of my... Yeah, I wrote that too. Yeah.
That's one of my favourite songs of the year. I shared that about a week ago, the live
they
were doing
MTV
it
or something.
Yeah. And I was just like, I'm sorry, but this is close to song of the year. Like, it's
just the
so
groove on that band is so fun. Man. It's so nostalgic but still modern. Yeah. They just nailed that whole thing. It's a really fun listening experience.
Yeah, look, like, and some of the lyrical content, like, I can't sort of like connect with as much as I would the stuff that we listen to a lot, but just, man, it's just such a good vibe.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting something as, I don't know, like, rockin' as Fly As Me. I wasn't expecting something so guitar driven.
Bruno's done stuff in the past though himself, like, he had a song that sounded like The Police.
Oh yeah.
Years ago, like he's always had some guitar work in there, which is, I don't think a huge surprise for me. Yeah. It's just the way it all came together. It was just, I loved it. So that's a huge win for the pop side of things.
Sorry, I'm just in my head. I'm giggling because you said it sounds like The Police. I really want to just start going. Woo, woo, woo. I don't even know if that's a police siren. What's the difference between the police, ambulance, and fire engine? Do you know? Can you make the noises?
Different countries have different sounds.
No, but even here, like, they're all different.
Yeah, I know, but, I mean, look, you saying one noise now is not going to mean anything to anyone that's watching this.
Yeah, I know, but I want to see if you know the difference between them.
And why don't I know how to make the noise?
Oh.
I don't want to be an idiot like that.
That doesn't sound like
that's
anything.
Like a dog's been locked outside. Moving on now to driveways.
Yep.
Oh, man. So this actually... Full confession, came out the end of October. It was like one of the last days of October, I think like 29th, 30th.
Yeah, I think Limp Bizkit was as well. So.
Yeah, so, but Skeptic, the EP, it was like a 6-track EP, and it just was not what I expected.
Man, there was that song on there that was so fucking heavy. I was just
so
like,
heavy.
What?
Yeah, so there's a few things on there, but there's also like a bit more like slow, almost shoegazy on the UFO in the Sky. My song on the album though was 78. I love the spoken news report style interlude at the start. I think it was just really cool, really unique, and different, and done super well. Plus, those boys are really nice.
Oh yeah,
they bought our merch. I love that.
Shout out to you, legends.
Yeah, I mean, I bought their merch, so it's like a fair trade.
yeah.
But yeah,
except they're actually good.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alright, so next I'm going to touch on is Silent Planet.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that album is just fucking so good. It's so intense and it's so well...
Intense is the exact word for them. They are intense.
But like even the melodic stuff, there's a lot more melodic stuff on there than there has been on their previous albums. Like a lot more clean vocals and stuff, but it was just... I feel like, in a way, the music was maybe a bit less djenty and less chaotic than the last album.
Okay.
But I think they've just found a perfect, medium between, that sort of progressive, emotive metalcore and the gent stuff. Okay. Because they've just done it so well. It was such a good album for me when I was writing, before the weather here just turned shit for 3 weeks. But I loved it.
3 months. We're ahead of you, yeah. Favorite song?
Probably Look, I reckon it's probably still Panopticon.
Same.
I just love that. Yeah,
The opening is so strong on that.
Yeah.
Also, they just released a film clip for that in like the last week. We did the song 2 months ago when it first released, and they've released like an official music video. I wanted to do it, but we've already done the song. So
did you listen to Bullet for My Valentine? I know we mentioned them a little bit earlier.
no, I didn't.
Because you're not a huge fan, are you? Like,
It's not that I don't like them. It's just never been I listened to heavily.
yeah.
So like the few songs we checked out, I liked, but it wasn't something I was like, oh, I can't wait for the album. I'm gonna listen to it back to front.
I think for me it was more a case of it's like, ooh, these boys have found their heavy pants again. Yeah, so I was enjoying the intensity of them. Now if you didn't listen to the album, it's kind of hard, but I want to talk about something that I thought was really, really strange about that album. So the first track on it, what was the name of the first track? I can't remember the name.
You're the only one that can do this because I didn't listen to it.
But it was one of the songs that we'd done. So at the start of the album, right? You know how albums have like occasionally an intro track? And it has like a minute and a half, could be some kind of noise, could be like whatever.
Yep.
This had someone like, it sounded like they were flicking through a radio station, so there's a lot of white noise, a lot of static, and you could hear bits of their old songs playing, like as it went from station to station. I thought this is a really cool concept. But then like, after a minute or so of it, I'm like, wait, this is the first track, and the first track has the same name as the song of the first track.
Oh, I hate that.
It was unskippable. And I'm like, you've like a minute or a minute and a half before you get into the song, which was the big kick-off heavy song for the album.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Brand New did that on their second last album. The first and last track, they had this, like, the last track's called Noro, I think. And the outro for it was like 4 minutes of, like, hymns, Bible hymns. And it kills me every time because I'm like, I don't want to listen to that Bible hymn. I want to listen to the one song.
I just think it's really weird. It's like, make it like skippable so you can just go to it because, you know, like I'm pretty sure there's a single version of it on there to add to playlists and things like that.
Surely, but why? Yeah, I don't get that.
Okay, so what else did I have in here? Youth Fountain. Youth Fountain was one that I'd introduced you to.
Yeah,
did you get to listen to the album?
Yes.
It's so good, man.
Such a cool, heavy pop punk band.
Yeah.
I love his vocals.
His voice is so good.
He's such a good voice. He has such a great range of like beautiful melodies to great aggression to clean bits to heavier, screamy bits.
Yeah.
It's just done so well. And it's, again, I mentioned before when I talked about Between You and Me, but it's like great storytelling on that album.
Yeah, it really is. And for that genre as well, I think that the fact that they're so dynamic in their songwriting, or he's so dynamic in the songwriting, I think the main dude does most of it. But yeah, there's just so many really emotive, like captivating moments in it, and that's really important for that style of music because it's you know essentially just a form of aggressive sort of pop punk.
Yeah.
But like they've found a way to sort of really set themselves apart from a lot of those bands, which I think is cool. It's kind of like, and like I love the story so far, but to me it was kind of like a more exciting the story so far.
Agreed.
Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you agree.
Yeah, not so much their last album.
Take note of that, McGee. Agreed.
Not so much the last album for Story So Far, but like earlier Story So Far.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I love the last Story So Far album. Subtitle. Anyway.
Confession.
You never listened to it.
Still haven't listened to it the
You're
whole
a
way.
fucker. I told you so many times to listen to that and you're a dickhead.
I will one day.
We weren't doing the channel at that stage. If we were, I would have forced him to do it.
You would have made me listen to it live and you guys would have had to sit there watching me go.
Oh, he's right. It is really good. I actually really like this song.
I don't know, man. Him doing the whole... Is it Liam or Noel Gallagher that's the singer of Oasis?
He did it so well. I don't care that he looked like it. It sounded amazing. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Go listen to that Story So Far album, the last album they released, and get back to me and tell me how... is that what the album's called?
I think so.
Yeah.
Holy shit, how do I know that?
I don't know. That's the title track for it. I didn't know if the album was called that.
I'm pretty sure it is. Can't remember the name of the song that I listened to fucking a week ago. But
yeah, but you remember that weird odd tidbit. Anyway.
It's because it happened when I was younger, so I could retain more of that memory.
You got any more albums that you want to talk about?
I will touch on Volumes quickly because I did check that and
That was the blue album cover, right, with the faces?
Yes, and it was the one with the candy, the axe.
Yeah,
and then
they
did that one after it, which was the live setting. It was really
so
cool.
Good.
I liked the album. I was not blown away by anything on the album as much as I was the singles.
Okay, I didn't listen to the album, so...
It's enjoyable. It's definitely worth a listen.
I'll check it out.
You should check it out.
I will check it out.
check it out.
Check my melody. I want to talk about. So we did talk about this one, but discoveries for this month. Not really discovery, but Northland's last track. Echo Chamber. Say that 3 times. Pretty sure it's called Echo Chamber. Way different from anything they've done before.
Yeah.
Both them and Thornhill, another Aussie metal band, came out of the woodwork with something unique and different. Now, have you listened to that Thornhill track since?
Yes.
Thoughts? Has it grown on you at all?
I didn't not like it at first.
But
It was weird and different, but I enjoy it. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I view it as being like a heavy Justin Timberlake sexy back era.
My thing is I want him to drop something else because I want to be able to compare, and I really want to hear it in the
Live setting.
Yeah, or I really want to hear it in the concept of an EP or full album.
Oh, okay, sure.
I really want to see how it sits. I really want to see where they're going. I'm excited more than anything for them.
Yeah.
Because I think it's really cool that they're doing different shit.
Same with Northlane. I'm really excited for where they're going, if this is a sort of a direction, because that song was just quirky and fun. The film clip was awesome.
But it had all the Northlane shit we like.
Yeah.
It had all the
So I thought that was really cool.
Northlandisms. Also, massive shout out to those dudes. They won't watch this, but they shared our reaction on their Facebook, and that's fucking cool. Like, I haven't seen them share anyone else's reactions. I don't know whether it's because we're Australian or because I'm so ridiculously good looking.
That must be it.
Yeah,
I can't stop thinking this whole time.
They're
Just
crushing
looking at
hard.
you.
Yeah.
Who isn't?
So yeah,
Johnny Boy.
Any time like these bands give us that sort of recognition or credit, it's just really nice.
Yeah.
It's just really nice because it is hard to be doing reactions and going up against so many others and some very, very big ones like who are hogging a lot of the market, they're very good.
Hogging? What are they hogging?
Well, you know what I mean. They've just got a huge fan base and huge following, and for us to be able to come in and still get a lot of people that are enjoying it is really cool. But to see bands actually appreciate it and bands reach out and say, we really dug that, had the guys from Envisions reach out over the last few days and say, man, love your reactions, it's cool. Even being featured on the Eskimo Cowboy things and just being appreciated by the bands is really rad. So
I want to talk about discoveries. You just mentioned Envisions, and that made me think of it because I added a few of their songs to playlist. That Annihilus song we first did by them, just blew us away. That was such a great discovery. Loved that. The Wise Man's Fear.
That was cool.
So fun.
That was very cool.
Alleviate.
Great.
That was a band. So really interesting. The Alleviate band was a band that the singer, the heavy singer, had actually messaged me on Instagram about 6 months ago from his previous band. It was like, hey man, check out our stuff. Here it is. And I listened to it and I didn't know they had a film clip at the time. But then when this song came out, he messaged me again and was like, thanks for checking out the song. I was like, oh, this is your new band. Amazing. So happy, so stoked seeing you do that because that was a great song. So quite a lot of these can be found on our playlist too. This is from my Angry Music for Happy People playlist.
Check them out. Yeah, no, like over the last month we've found some fucking great bands. Hollowfront, so good.
So good.
Envisions, obviously, amazing.
Did you listen to any more of the Amsterdam Red Light District that I played you?
No, I didn't, but they reached out as well and said thank you.
Cool.
Which was really cool. So you're welcome, and I'm looking forward to hearing more from you. Who was the band? We literally just did a reaction for them. The band that they had Eddie from Imminence on a track, and we just did a second track for them. Atlantis? Breathe
Atlantis.
Breathe Atlantis? Is that the name of them?
Yeah.
So good. Sorry that I forgot the name.
It's okay. I was
said it
looking
before.
I was
very
looking here
old.
to see what it was and realised that we haven't edited it yet.
Okay.
At the time of this recording, so I was like, I can't even find it. Be like, what is the song? But yeah, that was them. That was cool.
Yeah. No. Look, I look through our content of what we've done on YouTube, and it just blows me away how many bands we've found that are so sick. One Morning Left with their Beat It cover.
Oh
was
yeah,
so
that was
fun.
a great time. Yeah, McGee loved
Yay!
that.
Is that this month's Swaco or no, not Swaco? Justin Bieber, Kid Laroi. Is it getting played that much?
Nothing's ever going to get played that much.
Okay.
Is
any what have you listened to this month that's getting a lot of plays?
Not much.
Way to
I
put him on the
haven't listened to
spot.
much music.
I'll talk on that for a second here, because when Johnny was saying, did you listen to this album? And I was like, I didn't listen to it, because I've been going through and listening to a lot of audiobooks and a lot of podcasts.
Before you get onto that then, I also want to say another band that I don't know if you've listened to the full album yet. Pew pew!
What?
Resolve.
I was just looking at that one right there! So good.
So good.
A Rising
They're a
Empire.
three-piece as well. I didn't even know that. I was like, what the fucking shit?
A Rising Empire are my favourite record label right now. They have just dropped so many incredible bands and so many incredible songs. They're doing good things.
They are doing good things.
Yeah.
Saviour were really great.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of good things that we did. Oh, Future Palace.
Yeah, that was great. Her vocals
She was
were
insane.
yeah, really diverse. I also really loved that film clip. It was like really light and fun and the gold and yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. Ashen were really good.
Yeah, there's a lot here.
Yeah, there's so many. Go and check out all our videos. There's
Do a deep dive. Yeah, we are dropping 2 videos a day, so there is a lot of content on there. You said before about people being like, oh, like I've discovered so much through you guys. I think I told you this story. I was having breakfast with friends and she was like, oh, I was at a baby shower on the weekend and my friend mentioned to me that she's really gotten back into heavy music because she's been watching your YouTube channel. And this is like a mum of 2 kids, like our age, but she's like, oh, I just go and watch that YouTube now and I find all this music I used to love and I'm now back into heavy music. And that's so freaking awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So,
so before we move on from music, I mentioned to you that there was a little bit of information about Adele. Now, we did Adele,
yeah.
and we enjoyed that song.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you realised it or if you knew that there's a lot of bands, like including like Don Brocco, whose albums got pushed back. Like my friend's band Rage, their album is being pushed back, and there is, you know, like a lot of bands that we listen to and a lot of young hardcore and smaller hardcore metal bands are not being able to release shit when they want because they all order vinyl, because vinyl is a huge part of how bands in our scene make money, because it's a physical thing that people want, they want to collect it. So our friend Adele ordered 500,000 copies of her album 30 on vinyl.
And sold them straight away?
Nope, she just pre-ordered them. So what happened was, and then like also apparently at the same time, so she had taken the bulk of them. So all the vinyl production plants were fucked. They were all already under the pump. And then Ed Sheeran jumped in, Elton John jumped in, someone else jumped in, and all the big guns jumped in to get vinyl. And like there was literally nothing left. So none of the bands that we listened to could
That's
actually...
a fun tidbit. I've got another fun tidbit about Adele off this new album.
How about fuck Adele? She doesn't need 500,000 vinyls. Doesn't she?
I guarantee she would have pre-ordered and sold them out.
Yeah,
but
but
fuck Adele. If people like that,
Well, fuck that, man. She's rich enough.
It's not about the money thing. It's about people want to have that experience on there. If she can afford to do that, to start a way to get that out there, fuck yeah, go do it. More power to her. She's done a great thing for the recording industry off this last album, and that was she refused to drop the album on Spotify until they removed the shuffle button. You can't shuffle her album because she said that artists put so much time and effort into creating this like sonic landscape, and it's to be played the way it is. Like the timing and where the songs fit in the playlist is so important to the creators, and then people put on there to go shuffle, and it takes away that experience. So she's like, I'll release my album on Spotify, but you have to take away that button. And so Spotify have agreed and have taken away the shuffle albums button now. For Adele. Fucking hell's that for power? That's why she has 500,000 records made. Because she can go...
I'm going to give her 500,000 kiss my asses, because here's where I stand on that. I don't agree with that.
I don't. I mean, I do.
I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because, I mean, that's cool. Like, if you're an artist, like, and you put your music out there, it's like, yeah, it should be listened to like this. Look, if anyone is as into you as they say, and if they're a huge fan and you say, look, this is a piece of art that needs to be listened to like this, I feel like anyone who's a big enough fan and respectful enough will go and listen to that. You know what I mean? But I also think it's kind of narcissistic to not give listeners, like people who pay for Spotify and people who support you, the option to be able to do that if they want.
They pay, what, $9 a month to listen to all of the music. Her cut of that is so infinitesimal. I think that as the artist...
That is true. That's another
on them to do that.
That's another argument there. Like, fuck Spotify as well. I mean, although, sorry Spotify, I love you.
You're a dick today. You just
I hate this. I don't like that. Here's what I stand.
No, I don't know. I think that's a little bit controlling. I think that people should have the opportunity to listen to art in whatever form they want.
I think the artist should be able to put control on that, the way they want it viewed. Like someone like who does performing art, you go to a play and they have to like, you can't do this, you can't do that. Why is it any different to a recording artist?
Because you're putting it out there in track form in little bits and pieces.
But she's controlling how she's putting it out there.
So it's just her album that this is on?
Don't know.
Because I'm trying to shuffle other albums.
Can't tell you.
I shuffle shit all the time.
That's the problem here. Old wanker Johnny over here.
I'll shuffle your shit, Adele. Venom. Alright, so we're done with talking about music for now?
Yeah, you want to talk about movies?
Sure.
What were you to talk about?
Well, we could talk about TV shows or movies or podcasts or anything else you want to talk about, Nathan. I'm here for you, man.
I wish you weren't.
I know what's missing. The baby oil.
Oil me up, sonny. We're a laddie.
Oh, stick around. Stick around.
No, I want to talk about, because there has been a lot of big movies, TV shows, stuff coming out that we've either watched or are very excited for.
Yeah.
Marvel obviously dropped Shang-Chi. They dropped Eternals. There's kind of Marvel, Venom 2.
Yeah, okay. Well, I haven't seen Eternals yet, so I can't really talk on that. But what did you think of Shang-Chi?
Loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah, Shang-Chi was done so well. I think that was a really, really well done introduction story. Because it was high entertainment, fast-paced, a lot of action, a lot of heart. It was done really well.
Plenty of good humour. There were moments where I felt like his friend, her humour was a little bit too forced in. But for the most part, I thought it worked. I loved...
Spoiler alert, just in case.
Oh, yeah. If you haven't seen these movies, now is a good time to turn off. Okay?
They're always turned off by you. Anyway, go on. Thank you.
Yeah, I loved the Abomination and Wong scene.
Yep.
I thought that was so well done, and it gives me hope that they're going to actually bring that Abomination back more. I was really interested with how the end went with his sister.
Yeah, same.
I thought that was strange.
I'm interested where it goes from there.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I thought that was really well done. I enjoyed it. The kids enjoyed it. That was really cool. Yep, I did see Venom. Thoughts?
The first one was better.
See, I didn't even love the first one.
I did. I thought it was the first thing that Sony had done that they truly nailed that vibe.
Yeah. And I think it started really good because it was kind of... Bless you.
Thank you.
Because it was kind of horror sort of element. I think that's the one thing that I wish is that these movies were just a little bit more violent, a little bit more sort of on the horror side of it. Like, Venom and Carnage are creepy fucking things, man.
Yeah, but they tie into that other universe. You can't just
The
have
Spider-Man,
a complete horror thing and then tie into the Spider-Man the way they
Well, I'm interested to see how they do Morbius then, because that looks scary as shit. Like, he looks freaky as.
Yeah.
I thought my thing with Venom was there was too much of the comedy between him and Venom.
Yeah, they played that up way too much. That was my problem. I thought that was refreshing in the first one, and it was what they relied on too much in this one. The bitchy couple, like good cop, bad cop
thing. Yeah,
it was done
like,
too
we're still
much.
working out our relationship, and I get that. We're still working out our relationship 10 years in. Look, see,
he's a parasite.
Oh, I am, aren't I? And I just
you just suck.
Go on. I hate that. I hate that so much. See, it's weird for me because obviously taking Dustin to see it, it's kind of like I see how much he's laughing and I see how much he's enjoying it. So I think it boosts my enjoyment of it a little bit.
Okay.
So I do want to watch it again. But on first view, I kind of just think that like Woody Harrelson was a little underutilized.
Yeah, agreed. He was so creepy and so good.
He was so
it couldn't
creepy.
be better. Agreed.
Yeah. I thought, like, when he was in prison, I thought his acting was phenomenal. Like, the bit where he said, I have tasted blood, and that's not it. I thought that was cool. What did you think of Eternals, even though you can't really go into it because I haven't seen it?
I liked it. A lot of people were disappointed. I thought it was really good. It's long, it's drawn out, it's a different vibe for Marvel, and I'm excited for where they're going with it. And everyone lost their minds because it's introduced Harry Styles into the Marvel universe.
Oh, yeah, of course. Cool.
Yeah.
See, I I guess it's just because we're giant Marvel nerds that I was kind of ready for that and expecting that.
They have to. They can't just do the dumbed down action comedy thing.
You can't drop like such a huge element like that in without, expanding.
Yeah.
Moving away from the Marvel thing, did you watch Red Notice with Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gal Gadot?
It's exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's Ryan Reynolds, who's my man crush for those of you playing at home.
It's both of our man crushes.
The Rock, that's a bonding moment for Joni and I.
Yeah.
And The Rock's just The Rock in everything.
He is The Rock in everything.
I enjoy that. You kind of know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I thought it was fun. It was well written. There was fun little twists in it. I thought it was good.
Yeah, they have good chemistry, the three of them, I think.
Yeah.
It's funny because I feel like The Rock, as much as people get pissed off with seeing him in everything, and I guess the same with Ryan Reynolds to an extent because he's always kind of that same character.
He's himself.
But you can't dislike them, and you can't imagine them ever being in a movie where they don't gel with someone. And I think that's why they look so authentic when they're acting with other people, is because the other actors are probably just having a hell of a time being around them.
True.
They just seem like really nice dudes.
And just funny, affable people.
Gal Gadot was amazing, and she looks phenomenal. And I really loved all of Ryan Reynolds' jokes about how she doesn't look great. I thought that was so fucking funny.
Yeah, that's
so good.
And obviously well written as well. For those parts, so yeah, I enjoyed that.
Any other movies you watched that were any good?
Oh, I don't remember what I watched. I just started watching the Hawkeye series. 3 episodes in. Yeah, sure, why not?
Spoiler alert again if you haven't seen it.
We were
Pause.
past that.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. You said you were. Yeah, it's okay.
I'm enjoying it, but I also just my feeling with this is it necessary? Is it going to be added into the story in a big way? Go on.
Oh, yeah. Again, spoilers. I don't want to drop things that people might not have picked up on. Dude, it's going to introduce Daredevil back into the universe. It's set in Hell's Kitchen. And you might want to go back and watch now, but all the little Easter eggs that are leading to her, how she talks about her uncle, it's Kingpin.
Oh, okay.
The bit where he's the flashback to when she was young and said uncle's going to pick you up from class, and she kicks that dude's ass, and then you see him rub her on the cheek and you just see the it's and her character Echo is actually a huge character in Daredevil.
Yeah, okay.
That's the way they're going to bring Matt Murdock and Foggy and all those people in Kingpin. Well, I don't know if Kingpin will come back in, but that's how they're bringing them into the universe.
I thought they're coming in Spider-Man.
I don't know if they'll do the Spider-Man thing because it's so congested. And because Daredevil is obviously TV lower level, I think this is their way of getting them in.
Yeah,
because you got to think Kingpin is a huge comic book character in Daredevil and Spider-Man stuff, but he's still just a dude. He's just a criminal.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's gone on to cosmic shit.
Spider-Man's into cosmic shit.
And also, I reckon we're going to see Yelena Belova from Black Widow come in soon. They're teasing that.
Yeah, that was at the end of Black Widow, so...
Yeah, so that's why I'm enjoying it. Now, I've been watching a show that you said you hadn't been watching, which is The Shrink Next Door with Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd.
Yeah, I haven't touched it.
Oh my god.
I don't have time for TV.
Yeah. Is anyone watching The Shrink Next Door? If you have, please let me know what you think, because it's one of those shows that I'm really enjoying. It's it's got funny moments, it's quirky, it's cool. Will Ferrell plays the guy that's got a lot of sort of mental health issues really well, and Paul Rudd plays the doctor and the supportive friend really well. He's a psychiatrist. But it's also making me hate Paul Rudd, which is so bad.
That's obviously great acting if he's doing that.
Insanely good acting. But he just plays this just manipulative prick that's just being a fake friend to take full advantage.
That's why people say you look like Paul Rudd.
I was waiting for it.
See what he did there?
Waiting for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, if I ever get a chance to watch it, I'll drive in.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. It's made me rethink the Paul Rudd tattoo. No, I'll still get that. He'll still be slapping the bass. And I've been finishing off the Chucky series, which is okay.
How do you have time for all this?
Oh, dude, I don't go to sleep until midnight.
You don't even do any work. I forget.
No, I do work. I do work at night when I'm watching TV.
On his typewriter. Sitting there. That'll do it for today. We're going to leave that there because it's been long enough as is. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Drop any requests you have down below and anything you think we missed that we should have checked out in this past month because we are going to do like a year in review. So,
yeah, we are. Yeah. And look, things that we missed were probably on my notes, the ones that I wrote down, that are somewhere.
I hope you've Sandville Cologne or something like that. That'd be the best.
No.
Here's your house lighting. It's just...
No, the worst part is...
like this.
Dude, the worst part is I think I may have left them at my office on the coast, not my office in Sydney. And I think I may have left them in there. So next time they go in there to have like their Toolbox Talk meeting thing, there's probably just going to be this piece of paper on the desk that's just got all these bands and albums written down. They're going to be like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Or they'll be like, sick. Great suggestions, Johnny.
Yeah. Or they'll start their own podcast with all the content that we missed.
Be better than us too.
Probably.
We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for watching. Bye.